Now in this, the from the Faraday's, the flux whatever produced in the primary winding, which will links both the winding, so that an EMF induced in both the winding. From the Faraday's, the EMF induced per turn equal to d phi by dt. D phi is the change in flux, dt is the change in time. So phi m initial flux is 0, then 1 by 4f, then phi m by 1 by 4f, then the average value is equal to 4 f phi m volts. This is average voltage. Then RMS value you will get by multiplying 1.11 to the average value. Then EMF induced in the primary, the RMS value equal to 4.44 f phi m N1. Similarly, induced EMF in secondary equal to 4.44 f phi m N2. Now you will solve some problems. This is the problems is on EMF equation and the turns ratio. In order to solve the problem, you need to remember two equations. One is EMF induced in primary and EMF induced in secondary. That is 4.44 f phi m N1. Similarly, induced EMF in secondary is equal to 4.44 f phi m N2. And remember the turns ratio, that is N2 divided by N1 is equal to E2 divided by E1 is equal to V2 divided by V1 is equal to I1 by I2 is equal to, that is K, turns ratio. Let us take one problem. A single phase 20 kVA transformer has 1000 turns and 2000 primary turns and 2500 secondary turns. The net cross sectional area of the core is 100 cm square. When the primary winding is connected to a 550 Hz supply, calculate the maximum flux in the flux density in the core. Then secondary induced EMF, and then the primary and secondary load, secondary currents. Now how we can solve this? Now in this, first you note down the given data. That is kVA, capacity of the transformer is, that is 20 kVA. Then number of turns N1, that is 1000. N2 is 2500. Cross sectional area A is equal to 100 cm square. This 100 cm square should be converted into meter square. That's why you should divide by 1000. Then A equal to 0.01 meter square. Why we are converting the centimeter to meter square? Because our flux density is equal to Weber per meter square. So that you need to convert this cross sectional area into meter square. Now what we can do here? So E1 equal to V1, that is E1 is the primary voltage, then V1 is the supply voltage. Both will be same, both are equal. Then equal to 550, and supply frequency is 50 Hz. Now use the EMF induced in the primary. E1 is equal to 4.44 f phi m N1. Then phi m is the unknown here, E1 is known, then f is known, N1 is known. Unknown is the phi m, that is flux in the core. That is phi m is equal to E1 by 4.44 f N1. Substitute all this, then you will get phi m is equal to 2.47 into 10 raised to minus 3 Weber. You can say 2.47 milliweber. Then flux density in the core, which is asked, the first parameter which is asked us to calculate, that is Bm is equal to phi m by A, that is 2.47 into 10 raised to minus 3 divided by 0.01. Then Bm will be 2.47 Weber per meter square. Then similarly, induced voltage in the secondary winding is equal to, you can calculate here, E2 divided by E1 is equal to N2 divided by N1. E2 is the induced voltage in the secondary, that you keep it left side, E1 you transfer to the right hand side. Then E2 is equal to N2 divided by N1 into E1. Substitute N2 is 2500, N1 is 1000, E1 is the 550. Then you will get the primary voltage, secondary voltage, induced voltage E2 is equal to 1375 volts. Now is asked the third parameter, find the primary and secondary current. Primary current you can calculate I into, use the capacity of the transformer, that is capacity of the transformer, it is 20 kVA. So now what we can do, I1 is equal to kVA into 1000 divided by V1. kVA is 20 into 1000 divide by divide by primary voltage V1 550. Then I1 primary current equal to 36.36. Then I2 current equal to I2 is equal to, now use the same kVA, 20 into 1000 divided by V2 or E2 you have to use. Then I2 current will be 14.54. You will get one important problem you will get from this. Understand this, and next we'll be proceeding the solve some more problems on this which is given in the notes, and if you are unable to understand that, you can raise the questions. So next I'll move on to the losses in the transformer. What are the losses in the transformer? Basically we have two types of losses in the transformer. First one is the iron loss. This iron loss is called fixed loss. This is happening in the core. Remember, this is, there are two parts, then there are two loss. One is iron loss, one is copper loss. Iron loss which is occurring in the core, copper loss which is occurring in the winding. Then copper loss is also called variable loss. Then this is happening in the windings. This, why we call it as copper loss is variable loss, because this losses depends on the loading current, loading of the transformer. When the load varies, then primary and secondary current varies, so that losses in the winding also varies. The iron loss, it is also called core loss. This is there are two types of core loss. One is eddy current loss, another one is hysteresis loss. The eddy current loss occurs due to the eddy current in the laminations. So this eddy current loss we can calculate by one empirical formula. We is equal to beta into Bm square F square T square into V, whereas beta is the constant, Bm is the flux density, F is the supply frequency, T is the thickness, and V is the volume of the core. To keep the eddy current loss to reduce the eddy current loss, we are making this silicon steel with high reliable permeability and making into the strips. Then next losses will be hysteresis losses. This is occurs due to the cycles of magnetization and demagnetization. This hysteresis losses is calculated by one empirical formula. WH is equal to eta into Bm square F into V. So the total iron loss equal to summation of eddy current loss and hysteresis loss, that is Wi is equal to We plus WH. Then total iron loss Wi is equal to, substitute the We, that is beta into Bm square T square F square V, plus that is n into Bm power of 1.6 F into V. So next loss, it is copper loss. This copper loss we also call it as variable loss. This losses occurs due to the primary and secondary resistance. The copper loss, total copper loss equal to copper loss in the primary winding plus copper loss in the secondary winding, that is copper loss is equal to what is the loss in the primary winding, that is I1 square and R1. R1 is the resistance of the primary winding. Similarly, the loss in the secondary winding is equal to I2 square into R2. So now from the turns ratio, this is I1 square R1 I will be maintaining as it is. Then I2 current equal to, we know I1 by I2 is equal to K. Then I2 is equal to I1 by K whole square into, that is R2. So now this is equal to take I1 square is a common, then I1 square is equal to R1 plus R2 divided by, that is K square. Then R2 by K square you can call it as R2 dash. Then you can write here I1 dash R01. R01 is the resistance referred to the secondary. Then total losses in the transformer equal to iron loss plus copper loss. Iron loss and copper loss. Next we will be discussing the efficiency of the transformer. Efficiency means the definition of efficiency. Efficiency equal to output power by input power. Means how much is the input power, what is the loss, then what is the output power. Efficiency is equal to output power by input power. Then input power you can calculate here. Input power is equal to, that is V1 I1 cos phi. V1 is the supply voltage, primary voltage, I1 is the primary current, cos phi is the phase angle between V1 and I1. So phase angle between V1 and I1. Now we can calculate the output power using here input power minus losses. Input power is V1 I1 cos phi 1. The losses will be the total losses, iron loss plus copper loss. Now this is V1 I1 cos phi, then open the bracket minus Wi, then substitute WCU, that is I1 square R01. Then finally you can do here V1 I1 cos phi efficiency is equal to efficiency V1 I1 cos phi minus Wi minus I1 square R01 divided by V1 I1 cos phi. Then that is equal to, then efficiency is equal to, that is V1 I1 cos phi, that is 1 minus Wi by V1 I1 cos phi minus I1 square R01 by V1 I1 cos phi. Then I1 and I2 square, this get cancelled. Then efficiency is equal to 1 minus Wi V1 I1 cos phi 1 minus, this is R1 I1 R01 by V1 cos phi 1. This is the efficiency equation. Then you will get, next we will look into that condition for maximum efficiency. So what we need to do, the efficiency equation you take, efficiency equation that you differentiate with respect to I1 and equate it to 0. Then d efficiency by di1 equal to 0. Then differentiate here d phi 1 by 0, then differentiation of 1 will be 0. Then it will be Wi by V1 I1 square cos phi 1. Then differentiation of I1 will be 1 R01 by V1 cos phi 1. Then that is equated to 0. Then it will be Wi by V1 I1 square cos phi 1 R1 by V1 cos phi 1. Then this is Wi is equal to I1 square R01. What is I1 square? Then WCU. Wi is equal to WCU. And remember this, under the maximum conditions, maximum efficiency, the iron loss must be equal to copper loss. You will get one derivation in the examination. Derive an expression for derive the condition for maximum efficiency. What we need to do, starts from the efficiency, then you have to write up to here efficiency equal to 1 minus Wi by V1 I1 cos phi 1 minus I1 R01 by V1 cos phi. Then you have to differentiate with respect to I1 equated to 0. Finally, you are getting iron loss equal to copper loss. When you get the maximum efficiency, always iron loss must be equal to copper loss. And remember, this is the equation. The KVA, this formula you need to remember here. KVA at maximum efficiency is equal to KVA at full load into square root of Wi by WCU full load. WCU full load. Remember this equation. You will get problems on this. Next, what is this? Efficiency at any load at any power factor is equal to X into KVA into 1000 into power factor divided by X into KVA into 1000 into power factor plus Wi plus X square times of WCU full load, where X is the fractional load. X equal to 1 by 2, that is 0.5, half of the full load. Then X equal to 0.8, 80% of the full load. Then X equal to 0.75, 70% of the full load. And remember two equations. One is the efficiency, maximum efficiency is equal to KVA at full load divided by WCU full load, one equation. And remember the second equation, efficiency at any load at any power factor. We can calculate the efficiency at any load at any power factor with the help of this equation. X equal to KVA into 1000 into power factor divided by X into KVA into 1000 into power factor plus Wi by X square times of WCU full load. X is the fractional load. Suppose you need to calculate the efficiency at 50%, then X will becomes the 0.5. You can calculate the efficiency at 90%. During that time, X equal to 0.9. Then X equal to 25% of full load, then X will becomes the 0.25. In the next class, I'll solve some of the problems.